Have you ever wanted to build a BeamNG map? Your own custom, fun, drivable map? But maybe found it a little bit too hard to make them roads just right? Well, the year's 2025 and BeamNG devs have done us a favor and made making a lot more fun. So join us on part 3 of this series we're doing of making a beautiful UK themed map in BeamNG 2025. In today's video, we're going to be turning this lump of tarmac into a drift track. If you wish to drive on any of my maps or use any of my assets, feel free to jump over to my Patreon and sign up for free for some free stuff and some paid stuff, all good. We also have a Discord link in the description for like-minded people. The assets we'll be using today have come from the ETK driving school map. We don't have a lot to work with, but I do have some of my own assets I could add. But I think this will do for now, and possibly we'll grab some more later on. First step to a great idea is some planning. So we'll be using the paint tool to sketch out a rough idea of how we want our track to be. Okay, this is the basis. I know it looks a bit random because it's a bit inverted at the moment. The long grass is like the idea of the track. Goes around here, does this, woozy woo woo woo. I've obviously got to test the concept of size still by spawning in the truck or whatever. We'll have a bit of a pit lane over here, so maybe some garages, and this is where it comes round for the pit lane, and then you can join back in. And I'm thinking we'll have some skid pads in the middle with some water particles and stuff like that, make it look wet and fun to drive around on. And obviously it's going to be barriers and stuff all around. So next step is probably lay a road out, and we're going to be using the master spline for this. So we use the master spline? Yeah, we'll use the master spline, see what we can create. So obviously we just click master spline and probably start on the straight and start, oh, we need to add a new one, add a new one, start here and go all the way around, and then obviously tidy it up and make sure it looks shapish. Okay, this one doesn't matter too much on the detailing because it's going to be multiple passes, I assume, to get this to look right. And obviously some more alterations because I didn't feel it's going to flow. I want to make sure we've got some sort of straight before the corners, but not super long straights. You know, he's got to be able to flick around and link up the corners. Obviously, here's a drift track. This could take a few goes, but let's do it. Okay, next step's going to be to implement a new master spline. Just we got both of them to work off. One's going to be the main road, and one is just going to be the terrain and sort of just a bit of management. We've also changed the terrain paint, so it's mostly just loose, dirty grass now, and we've got these to indicate the wet zones that we're going to have later on. So let's now draw out the actual track. Okay, I've sort of rounded it off. Fingers crossed we've done okay. We might have to add some more nodes to improve the shape of the corners. Let's go to the layers. Add a new layer, which is going to be some decals. We'll probably not keep half of. Go into those options. Get rid of those decals. I'll probably keep the edge line ones. And maybe get rid of all the dirt edge. Light wear, maybe get gone. The only tool we want to be using here is the paint tool to give us our road. Let's do some touch-ups. Okay, to me that's looking a bit tidier. I've added a few more nodes. 5 seems to be the magic number in some of these corners. Yeah, not too shabby. I'm going to go back to the other one now and sort the terrain out. I'm going to make this one, the noise, quite rough. And have a bigger effect around the map, and then the other one will be smooth, like you'd hope, with a few odd little anomalies, bumps here and there. Okay, so there's the track layout, and we've gone for low bumpiness on here. I deleted the other one because they were linked to the terrain, so I thought we'd do the other one first, make it a bit bumpy on the edges, and then tidy it up with this one. And I think I've done okay. Looks interesting enough. We'll obviously add some other details, like some other materials like sand and stuff where we can crash. But tell you the truth, it's going to be quite wally. We'll put lots of close walls on the inside, and the only ones you can probably come off will be the barrier ones on the edges. Something like that anyway. Using this master spline thingamabob, I'm just going to add some mesh materials and things and see how we go, as it does speed up quite a lot of process. Even though it's a whole link, we can delete bits later on when we need to. This is more or less just to give us something to play with. I'm thinking a nice tight wall to this side. And we'll probably actually go do a tight wall to the outside, but maybe delete most of that one. Gives us a nice little tight track to work with. But like I said, I don't want it everywhere. So maybe we will have some grass verge. Maybe it's a bit close. We want some edge to almost crash in, or to get some dust kick up when you're close to coming off. And what should we do about this one then? So we make this one a lot further away, which just trips it out a bit. I'll have a think. Okay, I found this in some of the static mesh options. I wonder if I could find a fence or some sort of railing to add to it, but nice to have some sort of guardrail to stop people flipping over. Let's get creative, people. Can't seem to find anything that will really do the trick. The only sort of thing I've got is this metal fence. So let's see what happens, I guess. Okay, and we can obviously raise the height a little bit. Let's try 1. Looks a bit silly. So let's try 0.9, 0.8. I think we can almost get away with that. 0.8. Cool. Yeah, well, the road is looking okay. We've got some alterations to do, like making an entrance into the middle. Put some watchtowers or something like that. I don't know. We'll see what we got in the assets that we can actually use. We've got some random poles and things here, but nothing too good just yet. I have found these walls, so I'm going to have to do it the old school way and set these up. Do you have the crash barrier on the inside or outside? Do you stop people climbing in, or do you stop the cars flipping out? I think you'd stop the cars flipping out is my guess. So I've got it set to the rows. Let's treat individual items. I'm going to have to do this old school way of simply Control D, duplicate, put it next to it, and reselect all these, and then Control. Did I do it? Duplicate. Yes, I did. And proceed and carry on and line it up and make it look good. It's better. It's giving the map some colour as well. I think what I'm going to do is put some parking over here. Maybe a footbridge that goes over here. I'm not too sure yet. Depends how many assets I can make for it in a good amount of time. That doesn't take too long. Then we do have these flood lamps, which are going to be planted around. So a good idea. Get some of those in place. Obviously want some in the corners. Something like that, each corner. Or would you have it slightly away from the corners and then, I don't know, we'll work it out. We'll work it out. It definitely probably should be all on the inside. And I will be adding lights to them as well so we can drive around at night time. I'm kind of upset that this doesn't look wet yet. So let's do that. I think first we'll start with some decals. I'm pretty sure we got a wet road decal. We've also got wet drive lines marks, or whatever they're called. If we overdo it with those, that would look pretty cool, I think. Now, where are you? Decal road editor. Let's have a little look-sees, see what we can come up with. Obviously, blank white is not it. Well, we got these two, so it looks like we may have to muck about with some of the settings and make this road a bit more shinier, because we want it to look very wet and act like it's very wet too. Get in there. We can do better. I'm going to add some poles around the rings, I think. Hopefully this goes well. I'm going to use the mesh tool. Where's that one? Here it is, the mesh tool. And we can add a new one. And this is hopefully going to work out okay for us. I might as well test it out first and make sure I do have the object I want. I'm pretty sure it's just a yellow pole. Is it this thing I'm thinking of? Yes, it is. So I'm hoping if I just keep looping around in figure of 8, I can do this all in one. Just by simply going around in these circles. We're gonna... Oh, it's looped up. Yeah, looped up for me. Okay. Wasn't expecting that. Kind of works. Let's go for it. Let's just create a new one. Make it another pole. And then create another loop, I guess. And we can always delete any of the poles that end up in our way. Now here's a fun one. Let's add some particles. I want to add some water spraying onto the track. So that's simply done. Let's move things about. Here we go. Create objects. We're looking for a particle. Particle. Now which one is it? I'm about to experiment here. Is this one the right one or is this the wrong one? Okay, this one just creates rain. Yeah, we didn't want that. So we can just select that again and delete it. Rain is quite a fun thing to have, I guess. Maybe in the future. But maybe it's this one I meant to click. It is. Right, now we've got the fun task of actually trying to find the element we want. Obviously we've got some named and some not. Let's hopefully get the one we want. Hello. Let's turn the velocity up just so we can actually hopefully see what's going on. This one apparently is nothing. Raindrops, we don't want raindrops. Snow. What's going on here? Graffiti, water. Where's my water? Oh, damn it. I think I was just accidentally changing the wrong thing. I don't want to be changing this. I reckon it's this I'm meant to be changing. I think I may have broke things. Let's delete this and start again. Oopsie. That's better. Right, so that's obviously a bit epic. What about the shorty one? We have still got it on 10. Maybe we crank it down a little bit. And let's try and get its angle right. It's sprayed up at the moment. So if we do this, let's spray it down, a little bit up. Let's get it to, I reckon we can have it on these posts. Maybe these posts spray the water. It's pointing in the right direction. Let's just try and see if we can find the best sort of sprinkle for us. Oh, this one's work. The sprinkler. Maybe a little bit more stronger. I don't know. And obviously I think maybe it has to be a bit lower. It's fun, isn't it? Just need to do that all the way around. I'm pretty sure one day they'll have a spline tool, whatever. Is it spline? I think it's spline, isn't it? Tool that will do all this for us. But for now, I'm just going to do it manually. Right, got all them working. I can hear sound. It's like the water's already there. I know there's already some built into the game, and we are coincidentally building over a river. So maybe I don't need to mess about with the audio, but normally at this point, I'd go in here and add some audio. But I'm just going to leave that for now, and maybe it's something I'll think about in the future. Okay, let's just sort out the lights to make them make any sense because of their design. I've had to put some back to back, but ideally I put more out of the way so they're all safe. And we should be able to highlight a fair bit of the map with it making some sort of sense still. We do have some files we should be utilizing to keep tidy because some of them do come with code. Light poles, so I'm guessing that's where I need to put these. And we've got particles. I need to put all my water ones into the particles. So that's something I should be doing. Yeah, couldn't help myself. Added some more decals. Gotta admit, does make it look a little bit nicer. I think the map's looking good. These corners are looking a bit bare and no real indication when they start or end. So I'm going to add some simple skid marks for now. But obviously it would be nice to have some boxes to aim for when you're drifting. No reason why you couldn't use this as a go-kart track as well, I guess. Well, that's one touch I did want to add. I wanted to make sure this was really close to a wall. So we'll just be using the mesh spline once again to create a new wall similar to this one, but maybe stack it up twice as high. Okay, well I messed up a little bit there. I probably should use the row tool to do that, to have multiple layers, as you can't do layers with the mesh spline without, you know, I can't duplicate this thing I just did, which is okay. There was a saying about it. I think this could be better anyway. I shouldn't have had a high wall, I should have a low wall, so people in the audience can see all the action that's going on properly. If I had a high wall, I'd just block it for them, and we don't want that. Looking good though? Looking good. But it's definitely getting late for me. I'm going to have to continue doing my recording on a different day. So the next voice you'll be hearing is a bit of a fresher one. And I'm back. For you guys, it's been milliseconds. For me, it's been almost an entire day. I thought I'd come back, in fact, and have a little go on the map, just to discover that it was a bit broken, which I have spent about 2-3 hours today trying to fix, and managed to fix it, so happy days. You'd also notice some of the walls have disappeared. That's something I loaded up the map and it was just a bit broken. Also, for some reason the walls up here had changed, but they're now back to normal, but we are still missing the inner walls, so I'm guessing I'm gonna have to rebuild them. I don't know what I did wrong. The game obviously is still a bit buggy when it comes to saving the mesh splines to the game, but nonetheless most of it is still here and it is now working. I suppose I better talk about what happened briefly to this game. Before that, let's jump over to the map we originally got all these files from. And here we are in the original map, ETK Driver Experience Center. If we go all the way over to the middle of the map, you'll see there's some water. Now, this water, you'd think, is nothing. We can just paint over it and it'll be normal. But let's jump over into World Editor. Let's remove this water. Hell, we can even go to the next step and even paint the terrain asphalt. Now, of course, we've not changed the default main picture, so it is going to still look like mud, but you can tell it is now meant to be asphalt. Let's spawn in the car, shall we? Onto this lovely, should be flat surface. It sunk into the ground, and that's exactly what was happening to us on the drift track. Now, using the GIMP files, I tried to change a lot of the original files to try and get it to work, which I just couldn't find it. But then, after a little bit of digging, I found a different file called .def. Now this file, when opened up, I don't think it would work on this one, no, because it's not the other one. It had the outline, well it had the whole pond area drawn on a map. So once I converted it all to white, it fixed it. So happy days there. Big, huge problem, and if you're watching and trying to follow along, you're going to have the same issue. So maybe next time I do a map tutorial, I will remember to include this little step. So yes, that was a pain. Now let's go back to my map. So yes, after all that pain, we can now continue again. And I had a lot of pain, a lot of pain. Like all this grass I had to reinstall, which now doesn't look quite right compared to some of the other materials, but it will have to do. We can now continue with the drift track, which I let you know I've had a little play, and it is possible to get some cool drifts, so good times. And the wet skid pan is definitely a wet skid pan for sure. Not the easiest to drive on, quite slippery, quite bumpy, but I wanted the bumpiness to make it a bit more entertaining. So yeah, we just got to rebuild a structure around because, well, it's broken. And then we've also got to rebuild this wall because it's missing. And then, as I said, we've also added some assets from the Italian map, the Italy map. So we've got some more things that we can use in our little build, like all these street signs, give it more character. I've got some stone walls, which is a shame that these aren't in the spline tools, because it'd be nice to use these around the edges, because that's a bit more of a UK theme to have these sort of walls. So I will be implementing these here and there around the map. But of course, this playthrough, this episode, we're just concentrating mainly on the drift track. So let's get adding some stuff. Maybe these walls. I'm going to fix the map and bring it back to how it should have been in the start of the video. Well, just before I saved it and come back to it, and it broken. Well, that's just outrightly irritating, isn't it? They clash and it tries to sit on it. I don't know how to get it not to do that. Maybe I click this button. Is it going to not do that? It is not going to do that. Okay, we'll have to do it this way then. Not the end of the world. It's definitely not sitting quite right in a fair few places. And also we want to change it to the other thing blob as well, and the other block. Oof. Okay, that's somewhat there. It's not perfect. I feel like maybe I should just do it all again. Ooh, but I really don't want to have to. It would look better if I just did it all again. So basically the inner ring and the rail will have to go. Okay, stage 1 complete. Rails have been deleted. And now I've left the blocks in. I would like to add another layer on top, but I'm not too sure what yet. Let's see what we can find in the big wonderful list of assets that they have given to us. For some reason we cannot add to yet. I'm pretty sure we will be able to soon enough, but I just don't know how it's done. I wonder if this will help. Calling the layers something different, because I wonder if it's getting confused with the layers I've already made, because the word is called Master Spline 1 and 2 again, which I'm pretty sure we've already used those names. So that's not a good idea to have it called this. So Master Race 1. How about that instead? And there we go. That's that bit fixed. I actually think it looks better than it did before. A bit more tidier. I took a little bit more time in it. So hopefully a save here will do. Or do we also have to save it here? I'm going to save it in both places just to be careful. I think this one might actually be a waste of time. I'm not sure. I probably should experiment, test it. But at this stage, when you wasted that much time, you don't really want to give up by chance. Now it's got to sort the middle back out. And then I think we're back to how we started. Then we've got a few more details to throw in. I'm thinking there might need to be a road actually around the whole thing, but maybe that could come out at a future time. We definitely need to think about putting some sort of buildings here just so it actually looks sort of normal. There probably should be some more walls added as well. So let's get started. Right, finishing off this, we got water come out of nowhere. We did have poles before, but to save the headache of trying to get to line up, we might be creative and use something different. Let's just see what comes out of the bag, eh? Back before I do any more work, I'm going to save it and then reload the map and then hopefully have no problems. See? It did the weird cinder block thing again. Well, this might go back to normal. It did last time. And we've got missing stuff over here again. Why does it do that? It obviously does not like that block, does it? But now we annoyingly got the rails again to fix. Which, it's just obviously buggy with some items. Clearly. Well that's strange. So obviously this is the race fence. They've shown up and they're white. But we click on the race wall, they're all blue. Something went wrong with them. What? And they're locked as well. Can you come back, is it? No. That's maybe like an error code or something that's come up for that. Very annoying. Very annoying. Okay, so delete the rails, deleted the race wall that I called it, and then these got deleted as well. Now you would think maybe it's just linked to the fact it's the barrier, but I've got some barriers still left behind, maybe from when I was testing it, who knows. Some barrier bits still here, so it's probably user error why it keeps disappearing and breaking. Maybe I'll figure it out one day, but maybe not. Nonetheless, let's proceed and fix everything we've broken several times over. This is map making, people. Great fun. Okay, I've done a little bit of work, so I've hit save. I'm going to reload the map and see what's broken this time. Say what? It's all there. Hey! Well, that does put a smile on your face when something doesn't disappear. Let's hope that happens more often. Right, we can add some more fun detail to the map. This area here is looking really bland. We have some buildings out. This, remember, is going to be like a car park area. And we've got like a little showground. Maybe we have a burger stall. I don't know. Some things like that there. There's some extra bits we got lying around. Let's try and get this done so we can have a little play. Okay, I just had a big dive through all the files. Hopefully I didn't miss anything too importantly. We have got a carport, so that's going to be useful for detailing the simulation of having some sort of garage or workspace. We can fill it with some random junk to make it look busy and more like a racetrack, I guess. Planters and stuff for more of the communal area. We have got concrete walls, but you know what a concrete wall is? When it's sideways, it's missing bits. That's what it is. No, it's not. Yeah, we can work with that. It can become basically a sidewalk. There you go. Nice little sidewalk for you. We've also got some more fancy walls. It'll be quite nice for going along outside our nice racetrack, little private area and all that. I'm going to have... we need some sort of back entrance into this place, I guess. Maybe that come off the corner here. And come right round. I don't know. We'll work that out as we come along to doing it. I did find the bridge I wanted to find, but it is a bit tacky. It says it's missing parts, but it will look cool if we do manage to fix the broken materials. I think it'll be a nice little touch to the map. So, oh, also, as this wall's now broken, and I did want some country wallness going on, I thought it'd be quite cool to go all the way along with this thing. Best we can, old school style, one by one, all the way along, mixing it up. And that'll give us a nice variation in what happens when you drive around the map. I doubt I'll go all the way around because it's quite tedious, but it's something to do anyway. So, let's also probably have to do some painting. Some fun painting. Have a good think, guys. Have a good look. It's going to start looking pretty awesome, hopefully. I did want some watchtowers, but I couldn't find a watchtower. Well, that was quite effective. All we did was put some walls in over the carports. Nice. Eventually it'd be nice to add some like workbenches and things in there, some seats. But that's not far off from what we want to be starting with. We need some walls now. Obviously stop people driving straight into the track. A bit better. We've got some walls now, sort of separating what's going on. We'll have to add some sort of signpostage. And obviously some billboards with the Patreon's names and anyone else who desires to support me along my progress of map building, because that's the kind of thing we like to do, is say thank you by putting you in maps. So, whoa, what's the camera doing? I just started putting this beautiful wall in, and I realised it would look nicer if it was laid on a flat road, which this wasn't, but is now. Oh my days. Is now. We actually used this tool to make sure it was perfectly flat. I'm now going to reset all this stuff so it's looking nicely lined up. And I've also decided we're not going to use this over there. We're going to bring it over here somewhere. If it's actually wide enough, let's have a look. Spin it around. We'll take that stuff off. I don't need it on right this second. Put it into the ground. It's just about, but it will be stopping cars going over there. So maybe, can we squeeze it on one of these corners? That would be pretty cool to go through when you're drifting. I reckon we can just about get that on there somewhere. Where's that bottom step? Oh, we've got, plenty of height. Yeah, I think that's okay. That's acceptable. A bit of time. And it's starting to look like a crime, how good it is. Yeah, sort of. A bit dangerous. And we've got some terrain to sort out. And I'm not sure what this wall's doing here anymore. We definitely need to get rid of that. But it's looking okay, I think. There's the outline of what is going to be a car park. It needs to be raised up just a little bit to match the curb on this side, so that the curb's flushed with it. Yeah, I want that. Or do I? Do I just want a little mound? I don't know. I'll tell you later. But that will be later on. This details more about the track itself. I think that's the main base and the bulk and the shape and the idea of what we're going for. I think all it really needs now is that extra spice of decals to really make it stand out as a drift track. What do you guys reckon so far? Is a track and a map that you would like to play on? I'm struggling to find some squares, and the only way I know to do the two lines is to go back into the spline thing and do all that, which is quite tedious. Don't want to do it that way. Oh, there was the decal one. All of that's got some more interesting ones in. Maybe I'll look in a minute. We also still got some parking we can quickly throw in just to add to the background, make it look a bit cooler. This is going to be a bit of parking as well. Probably just going to get rid of this building. Hey, get rid of this building like that, and smoothing this out a bit so it can be some sort of parking. Then I can have a wall put around it, and that can go this way. We've got these stadium chairs looking out, looking good. I think we need something here eventually, but for now I think it's okay. Just more decals. Got to be careful there, because you don't want to overdo decals, because it does take up some of that memory. We don't want to ruin the memory. Obviously we need to have some signs, which we have plenty of. It says which ones to put where to put them, and all that malarkey. See, that's a good one. We got all of this bumpy warning. That's probably a good one. There's no point telling people what corner to come in, I guess. Pedestrian crossing, that'd probably be a good one. We'll start with them for now, Just duplicate them, move them over, put them somewhere interesting. We looked at Google Maps on like how this should have been laid out. It clearly doesn't make much sense. But I suppose as it's just like a random drift track, not a race track, it doesn't have to make too much sense. Because you're not like you're speeding into a pit lane change thing and zooming off again. Not that sort of track. If you're coming off, you're probably coming off to cool down for a good 20 minutes. So, I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments. Do I need to redesign this area? I'm not going to go too crazy just in case I feel like switching it up a bit. Just in case you didn't get the point. You go in circles. It's like a roundabout. Apart from you're probably guaranteed to go into a wall. I got most of the stairs working. I didn't recognise the third material. So I tried creating a new material. Not recognised it yet. But maybe when I load the game up, it'll be like, oh, there's a material called what I need it to be. And just grabs it. We shall find out later. But at least it's less of an eyesore. I kind of don't mind the orange steps too much. More details. I think just decals now. Maybe some more tread marks. I don't know, I don't kind of overdo it. Oh, we definitely got enough parking now. Whee! It needs better alignment and stuff, but you get the idea. It looks quite appealing still. I think the best thing for me to do now, a little play. Well, that was a fun little journey to say. The track could probably be bigger, you know? Maybe some bigger sweeper corners. I'm enjoying it though, that the swoopy, spropey, whooshy-whoosh off the terrain, like the healiness, it makes it a bit more fun rather than having a bit of a flat surface. But I do enjoy it, and it is a nice addition to the map. I definitely got a few more ideas for it. Maybe like have this as a ring and have an even bigger, tighter ring that maybe goes up along the hill up here somewhere. You know, comes around here, maybe joins onto this bit, who knows? That could be quite a good addition. Obviously it means ripping out half of this stuff, but it wasn't too much effort putting that in anyway. And we've got a little bit more room we can use down here maybe for the tracks, pits and stuff. I don't know. I just know it was really fun building it, and I know it was really fun driving on it. I've also got this bad boy to have fun driving on, which is really good for when I've got traffic and a nice nippy car, which reminds me, I do need to go back to automation and work on my luxury car and turn it into a bit more of a sporty demon. It's really fun to drive on these roads, but it's just missing that little bit of perkiness to make it super fun to drive and overtake cars. Well, this has been great fun. And guys, I can't wait to finish it off so all of you can play on it. If you want early access and all that sort of stuff, just give me a shout on Patreon. You know how it goes. Anyway, have a great one. Like the video, please. Help people see it and help me grow and whatever. And I'll make some more automation mods and BeamNG mods and fun stuff for us to play with. Bye bye.